So, welcome everyone. My name is Monica, and I have with me my colleague Taru, the other person on video. So, we are from livinglight.in. I think most of you may have checked out the website. So, these Sunday sessions at 8 are a prayer or an invocation for those of us in the age group of 18 to 28. And we thought of creating a separate space for this age group because maybe the challenges are different, for the elderly, in the sense that after you have crossed your 30s, or the challenges change. The challenges still remain, but it's a different kind of challenge. And for the age group of 18 to 28, where we are finding our way in the world and trying to maybe uh, find a way, what is the best way for me to live, maybe challenges there are different. So that's why we thought of creating a different day, maybe for sharing of those challenges. So this space is not really solution oriented, in the sense, not for advice giving or giving solutions to each other, but yes, finding a way towards clarity. Hmm? So we can share our reflections on, maybe if one person shares that this is the challenge I'm facing, this is the conflict I'm facing, and maybe other person has been through a similar conflict, we are welcome to share those experiences. But we have to maybe a bit cautious for not really giving just direct advice, but rather invoking some questioning here. And also, any challenge, any emotional conflicts, which usually on day to day basis we are not able to share in our family, relatives and friends, and yet it bothers us constantly. So this is a space where we can share all those so called forbidden things which are not to be shared, in public. I think we need to share all those things out if we really want to have sanity in our being. So this is our platform. This is for all of you, and me and my friend will be here just trying to facilitate the session in some way or the other towards clarity, towards invoking reflections and questioning. And in case you feel a bit hesitant, पूछूं या नहीं पूछूं, shall I share, not share, allow yourself to go through that bit of discomfort in the beginning, because it's an auspicious discomfort. When one allows oneself to go through that discomfort and yet shares, something new has the possibility to emerge. And in case you want to just listen today, that is also okay. But definitely there must be reason why you are here today, why you are not somewhere else at this point of time and here. So it must definitely be there that you are here for a reason. So allow yourself to share, no matter with how much of discomfort. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Taru, anything to add?
Yeah, nothing from my end. I think just, yeah, thank you.
So we can take frequent pauses in between. Silences are welcome. We don't have to talk obsessively one after the other, that is not needed. If we need spaces for reflection and silent times in between, please allow yourself to take that. Even if no one at one point of time is speaking, just listening and kind of immersing in the words whatever are discussed here, allow yourself to do that. And yeah, with that, it's your space. There is no any particular structure to this space. We can take it in any direction that benefits all of us. Yeah. Yeah, so with that, welcome everyone. Welcome, many new members are joining today. So I welcome all of you, and allow yourself to share anything that is burdening you right now. And if you want to seek clarity through that challenge, thank you.
since there are some people who are new, I just, just anything can be discussed here. Like just to share from, previous sessions, like, things we have seen, which probably didn't make sense to me, right? Somebody behaves in a certain way, or, the parents expect certain things which I don't resonate with. So, like, anything like conflicts with friends, I don't know, social media, confusion, competition. So anything that, you feel that kind of makes you heavy, or you would like to get more clarity on, or just want to see, what the others feel about it, that can be shared. Yeah, thank you.
So I would invite all of us to share why we are here today. We are not just here for nothing, right? We are here for something. So all of you who have joined today, if you could just share a few lines on why are we here? Yeah, one by one, just unmute yourself and share why am I here today.
Hello.
Yes, Abhishek.
Hello.
Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah. Okay. So since no one is starting, maybe I thought I'll take some initiative. So this is my first time I'm attending this. So I was just going through some of my news feeds on Google. I saw some article from Bangalore Times, and this was one of the things where it was the title was something like things you can do this weekend. And this was one of the things that was mentioned where they said like people can meet and talk. So I felt like I was curious like what happens, and just wanted to hear people share their problems if they have some.
Yes, Abhishek, please continue. I think
So,
you, yeah,
yeah,
you
sorry.
got
So,
disconnected. Yeah.
yeah, net connection is not the best right now. Sorry. So I just wanted to hear people speak about what things are difficult for them. I don't have anything particular to share, but maybe if someone has something they want to share, I'd like them to start. If not, few random things I'd like to discuss if no one has anything. So I'll bring them up later, but yeah, if anyone else wants to share their reasons, I'd like for them to go ahead. So yeah, that's it from us.
So anyone else, one by one, we can all share why are we here today. Yes, Srinidhi, are you? Do you want to share? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Like how he said, even I got to know about this group in my Google feed. But I'm really glad that I came across this because I'm into psychology and mental health. stuff, and I'm planning to do my masters in that. So I'm really, and I also, I haven't been into something major issues in the past, but I've been through little anxiety, body image issues, and I want to speak about it. I want to make people aware that it's completely okay to be not okay. And it takes little guts to people to come out and speak, because in India it's not normalized. So, and currently I'm working with the IT firm, but I'm planning to do my masters, and like I want to change my field. And even that takes courage, because when you go from a regular job to a different field, people tend to stigmatize, saying that why this, why that. So I want to break, like even if I do my 10% in contributing about this, and even if one person feels all right and validated in a like in a certain space, I would be really glad about it. So I'm really very happy that I came across this, and I'm looking forward to hear people and share stuff also. Like if anybody gets benefited from my story, then I'll be glad.
Yeah, beautiful. Srinidhi, you shared that nothing major really.
No,
And that
nothing.
sentence, I could
I
not.
mean, nothing. Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm sorry for that, but
No, no,
no,
no.
no.
Actually, I want to ask you,
Huh.
what do we consider major and what is
Huh.
the minor? Yeah.
That is true. Major and minor depends upon people. Like what may be major to me may not be major for somebody else. And what's important is everybody feels heard. Uh, I feel it's very common in our country to, belittle somebody, saying that, ha, it's nothing, like it's really very small. Why are you making such a huge issue of it? So thinking that, I think even I'm part of it, but because that's how we are brought up. But now I feel that, yeah, major or minor, like as you said, depends upon people, not, I mean, depends upon person to person. So it depends upon how they take it. So yeah, it's like, I think everybody has been through something or the other. Like nobody's perfect, but nobody speaks about it. That's the thing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Aapki, the thing, I
Yeah,
hope everybody is fine with Hindi and English. I
yeah.
may use Hindi in between, or we may
I'm
use
fine with
Hindi.
it.
So, the thing major and minor, it's very important to discuss that, and let us take up that. I'll just touch upon it and then others can share. If I add one drop of urine water or any drain water in your potable water, would you be able to say it's just a minor thing and I can drink it?
No,
You
definitely not.
can't, right?
Hmm.
So any amount of stress and burden in our life is like that drop of poisonous water.
Hmm.
And it is here, in these spaces, we gather that courage that I must take up a stand in my life, that I am not going to tolerate even a drop of poisonous water in my life.
True. Yeah.
So then nothing is major and nothing is minor. Everything is major if it comes between me and my peace.
Yeah.
So
True.
this is what we have to take a stand for, because in society, the way we live, it is said that stress is the way of life. Acha, तेरे को है, सबको होता है. No, what's the
Hmm.
big deal?
No, it's not the way of life. Yeah, like that's what I
Exactly.
want to convey. It, like there are many ways in which you can break the stress. Like if there's anything that's making you stress, it's good to get away from it, right? But yeah, that also takes
Yeah,
courage.
it takes courage, and it's good to read a signal that stress is
Mhm.
giving. Stress is giving me a signal because, for example, we sitting here in the session, we are not really under stress, you know,
Mhm.
but maybe I do something else in my life that makes me really stressful.
True.
So the intelligence of the being gives me signals in form of stress that something is needs to be taken care of.
Mhm.
So can I
True.
listen to those signals in my life rather
Mhm.
than making stress a way of life, because I don't deserve that burden that I carry on my head every day.
Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, beautiful. I think, thank you for touching upon that, and yeah, and I hope you share more later also. Please,
Yes.
anyone, feel free to unmute and share.
Hello, yes, hi Monica.
Yes, Anusha, please share. Yeah. Pratik or who wants to share? Prasanna, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Hi.
please share. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. I think I joined this session because I found this line interesting that, you can share things without getting judged. That's a very rare attribute to find in the present day society, be it your friends or close friends or even your family. And I think I'm exactly for that purpose here to share my stories without being judged, and also listen from this like-minded community, and together we can grow. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prasanna. Yeah. So,
Hello.
yeah, yes, Anusha, please share. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Monica. So, just to add what the last person said, I am also kind of here not for the judgmental thing reason, but the fact that I have realized I was way back an expressive person, and I still am. So I talk about things a lot, but uh, the way that life has gone, so I've soon realized that really not okay. Sometimes things backfire even if you share some things with your closest of people. So yeah, so that's the reason, because I still feel I want to speak about something, or something is wrong, or something that I'm feeling or going through. So that's the reason I thought this circle, I mean, exploring this platform might be of help.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Anusha, you again touched upon a very beautiful point, and I think we will discuss more about this. That in order to try to preserve our relationships, so called relationships, we don't dare to speak up the truth. Maybe I lose a friend, maybe I lose a relationship. What if I speak the truth? Maybe the other person rejects me, right? So these are the things where we keep on suppressing, our, maybe we want to share something which is coming out of our goodwill. If we are seeing a friend go into depression, but I am not allowed to say anything. Why? Because the person will feel judged, that how can you say this to me, I feel hurt and all that. So I think we, in these sessions, we also gather a lot of courage, that in order to speak up truth and what is right for each and every person, we must get up, no matter if we lose a relationship,
Mm.
because that is right for me and also for the other person. So, we need to take up a stand and not try to preserve false relationships in life, which halki si baat hoti hai and people get hurt. What is the point of having such a relationship?
True.
Yeah. So,
Very
yeah, please,
but
please share more. Yeah, please.
in my story, that I may be that person because I have a mess going on in my life and I get hurt maybe with anything that comes my way. But the thing is that when we share with the closest of people, also these days, all that we get the answer is that you are not the only one having problems. They take it that way, that we all suffer, but we don't speak up and things like that. So, but what I feel helpless that it's okay, we are close friends, so that's why I'm speaking it up. If no one else is sharing, so I feel that is it. I start to self-analyze. Am I so self-centric that okay, I am only seeing my problems and not caring about others? And also somewhere I start expecting people to reciprocate in a certain manner. I've realized that that is also my expectations from people from like during this phase. Like if I had been in their place and if someone tells me that they are going through this, I would walk way miles beyond to help them. And I felt that even after sharing this phase with closest of my people, it's really not helping anything. And rather I end up feeling that okay, I don't matter at all. So
Beautiful. One thing that you just one thing you touched upon, that as if I don't matter at all. I think most of us can connect with that. We feel that, who am I in this big universe? I don't matter at all. So we want people to appreciate and validate and approve of us, that, they should tell me that I matter, I matter. And actually, we have to go deeper here, and see that we really don't matter. If you look at the magnanimity of the universe, Earth is a dot, and we are a dot in the dot. So we really don't matter. Let's begin with that. I am a nobody cares about me. Okay, now knowing that I am a nobody and I am just a grain of dust, just like other people are, can I begin to care about my own contentment, my own peace? Is that a possibility? Instead of asking
Yes.
for validation elsewhere, instead of asking for validation in my relationships, where I just fall on my nose again and again, right? I have seen that. So I go to every door, I knock, knock, knock. Please validate me. Please validate me. Everywhere I get a slap. Because poor the other fellow is also in the same drain. He's also not able to validate himself. So how a beggar can take care of the other beggar? So can I be my own best friend? Can I validate my own self and judge my own self when I'm going wrong, for example? Because I also need to judge myself. A proper discernment needs to be there. If I am falling into a drain again and again and I don't discern that this is a drain, I don't need to fall again and again there. So their judgment is needed. I need to judge. Judgment has a proper place. So instead of asking others to approve of me, validate of me, and tell me that I also matter, I am also somebody, in which I always fall on my nose, can I begin to value my own self? Is that a possibility for each one of us here? How long will I keep on waiting at others' door? Because it doesn't make me feel nice.
Yeah.
Knocking at others' door, if it was really pleasing, I would go on doing that forever, right? But it's not really pleasing. I don't feel nice being a beggar.
But also I feel to be our own best friend is the like is the best thing we can have with ourselves, but also it takes little courage. I mean, see, like as we are humans, it's very natural for us to seek importance and to be feel heard, to be feel loved. But I know that's not how it is, until and unless we owe ourselves, we love ourselves, we can't love anybody else, is what I believe. But to love ourselves also it takes courage. Like, sometimes like it really feels weird to be like, some things I expect people to do it, but I have to do it anyways because I know I'm not gonna get it. Sometimes things go really harsh and I need to self therapize myself, but I don't uh, want to do it, but I have to do it anyways. That also takes courage. But until and unless we keep trying, we keep do that more and more, is what things will be fine, is what I feel.
Beautiful. I think you shared a couple of times that it takes courage. It takes,
Courage, yes.
even
Like,
even to live so-called normal life.
yeah,
It does take courage.
exactly. And also I feel what, like, as you said, certain things are actually personified. Like, what is normal to me, like suppose normal to me is waking up, doing a 9 to 5 job, then again going back to bed. That is normal to me. But for a person who doesn't have a regular job, for him normal is something else. So that also differs, right? Like, it's subjective.
Beautiful,
But
beautiful. So it seems what you shared, it seems that it's just that owing to the fact that I am used to live in an old pattern of life,
but yeah,
that has become my so-called normal.
correct.
And whenever I want to take a step in any right direction,
It becomes
I need
abnormal.
courage. I need courage.
Yeah, I need courage.
And we have that courage. It's not that we don't have that. अभी अगर हमारे पीछे टाइगर पड़ जाए,
We will run.
we
We'll
will
run.
run, and we will run at such a speed that we will don't not even know that, oh my god, I can run at this speed, right?
Yeah. Also, somebody, like, also I feel like if anybody pushes us in a well, we will fight back to, like, even if I don't know swimming, subconsciously I will fight back for life, because I feel our problem is only a part of our life, but we end up making it a huge part, like life itself. So, like, if I really want to live some way, like by hook or crook, I will fight for it. But until and unless we do it, we don't know our inbuilt strength, like wit and grit we have within ourselves. So yeah, that is one thing.
And also, that we must be convinced within ourselves that
Mm.
this is the right battle.
Yeah, correct.
Most of the times we don't know, we are not sure.
Mm.
And that is why the courage does not come to us happily.
Correct.
Once I know that this is what I want to live life for,
Mm.
whatever we decide for our own self, that this is truth and I want to take the path of truth.
Mm.
Courage is just so obvious then that,
Mm.
that it comes. But mostly in our lives, we are just fighting for wrong reasons. So we are feeling weak mostly. And it's
Correct.
good that we are feeling weak, because it's good not to gain strength for wrong reasons,
True.
right? So the this lack of courage that we talk about, it's good that I don't have courage right now, so that I don't take that wrong step in the wrong direction, which puts me in the drain back again, right? So yeah, I think we have to pick the right battle, that yes, this is what I want to do in this life because this feels right. I know that this is right for me, and hence the courage will be provided. It is not possible that the courage is not, provided from within.
Hello. Yes, hi. I just want to share like my feelings currently. I'm mostly feeling confused and like unhappy all the time. That is I mean every day is going like without me even living that day. It feels like that. Like in no time at all, like months and years are going away, and I feel like I didn't move. I mean, I didn't change anything, or I didn't reach any of my goals. And there is also my parents' expectations of what I have to be versus what I want to be. And the toughest part is that they're not forcing me to do what they want. So they are even allowing me to do what I want, but I'm failing in what I am doing. So I don't know what I should be doing. Yes, that's it from me.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you so much for sharing. I think first of all, uh, more power to you. Why? Because you took the courage to break the normal whatever routine you have and to participate in the session. I think that's enough of a blessing, I would say, that you were able to come to the session and join it and find your way through it. And secondly, I see that you see that I am unhappy in life, and something in me, something in you, I mean to say, something in me tells me that this is not the way life should be, right? Unhappiness is not the way of life. I deserve
Yes,
something better, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So where is this knowledge coming from?
I feel like when I was a child, whatever I do, I was not so conscious about it, but I was feeling all the things. Like even if I play some video game, or I don't know, even if I watch cartoons, nowadays I'm not able to feel those, even those little things. Like even while watching those, I feel like I'm not part of that. That's how I feel. I don't know what changed in me that made me like this.
Would you like to share a bit about your childhood, Nikhil? What really gave you joy? What was really so special about Nikhil? Would you like to share?
Um, I don't remember anything specific, but just even things like watching TV or playing hangout with friends. I don't know, playing video games. Video games are mostly, yeah, that was the most. Um, yeah, I don't remember anything specific.
If you imagine that you are standing here, right,
Mhm.
and you
Okay.
look far away from you, and you look at this little child, Nikhil.
Okay.
What is so special about that little child?
I don't know. Maybe that pure innocence of not knowing anything, like, not having any responsibility. Yeah, maybe that.
So, what is the responsibility or obligation you feel pressured from wherever? What is the obligations on you right now?
Mm, Mostly my parents. I don't really care what society thinks of me, so I'm that kind of guy. Like, I don't even really care what my friends even think of me. But I do care what my parents want, and I do want to satisfy them. But it's just that they are kind of orthodox, and I don't know, I can't satisfy both of, I mean, them and then me at the same time, right?
So, what is the demand actually from your parents?
Um,
Which feels
to
obligation. Yeah.
Yeah, to become IAS officer, like something they want to feel proud, because they probably want to share with their friends and then brag about it, or I don't know. I don't know what's the reason, but they're not forcing me like that. They'll just say like that, but I can realize that that's what they want.
Okay. So at the moment, I'm just trying to grasp the situation. At the moment, Nikhil is living with parents. He is financially dependent on parents, and
No, 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 not at all.
not at all. So what is the case?
No, I'm working currently. I'm 23. But then they want me to become IAS officer. So I want to start my own company. That is my goal. I tried my hand at it for 1 year, but it didn't work out. Yeah, now I don't know. I promised them that I would start whatever they want, but I don't know what I should be doing now,
Okay, beautiful.
because they gave me time. They didn't pressurize or anything.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I think Nikhil, we need to talk about this to parents face to face. That, for example, they want you to be an IAS, right?
Right.
अगर आप उसके और थोड़ा डीपर जाएं, आप पूछो, okay, Papa, if I tell you that I will be really unhappy being an IAS, would you still ask me to be an IAS?
I even tried something like that.
हाँ, बताओ ना, बताओ, please share.
I mean, they will just say, I know what's best for you. They'll say something like that.
Okay, okay,
They will cite examples from my childhood, like, you didn't listen to me when you were in that particular point of time, and you made a choice differently. See, right now you're not happy with that. Like
right.
that, they will say.
Right, right. And what is the state of being of your parents? Do you feel like you can look up to them, or do you feel that I don't really care to listen about what they're saying? What is the state of being of there? Are they peaceful? Are they happy? Are they content with their life? What is the state of being there?
Yes, they are happy, kind of. We don't really have any that kind of problems. I mean, the usual family problems, we don't have that. But still, I I feel like they have given me so much love, and I didn't give anything in return.
Okay, okay, just stop there right now. Huh?
Okay.
I'm your mom.
Okay.
You are growing up.
Mhm.
You are my child. You came from my tummy. Okay.
Okay.
And that is the reason I give you love. Have I given love to all the other street people? No,
No.
right? So why I have given you love? Because
You are my mother.
exactly. So when I was giving you my love and nurture, I had a selfish reason. What was the selfish reason? Nikhil, tell me.
Because I came from you like that.
Exactly. Okay. And when I was giving you my love and nurture, no one was pressurizing me. I wanted to do that because you were mine.
Yes. Right.
Okay. I did not expect anything in return when I was loving and nurturing you.
Mm.
And I was not doing it for other people. I was doing it for my own, right?
Yeah, yes, right.
So one has to realize this very, very strongly for all of us who are here today, that when parents are nurturing their children, they are doing it out of their own happiness, because it gives me happiness to nurture Nikhil.
Okay.
Now, it will not give me happiness if I am a good parent. First of all, if I am a good human being, if I am a good parent, I don't want to burden Nikhil with my obligations. I don't want to do that to Nikhil,
Right.
because love is freedom. Freedom is joy. If I tell Nikhil, because I loved you and took care of you, now it is your responsibility to look after me when I am old, right?
Right.
Putting an obligation over you. Is this love?
No.
No. So stop calling this love. Wherever attachment is, love is not. And
Mhm.
that is why you feel so suffocated. I'm glad that you shared.
Yeah, yes. I don't know where to share this. Like I was even skeptical whether this will work, like even in this kind of platform,
I can
because
understand your skepticism. Yeah.
yeah. But I feel a little bit better.
Very good. So हमने क्या करना है? My task is that I can see that this is not love. Why this is not love? Tell me. Because this feels heavy.
Mhm.
Whatever feels heavy cannot be love. It can be a sutra for each one of us. Mantra. I use this, my colleague uses this. Wherever you feel burdened with obligations and expectations, it is not love, it is just attachment. Wherever attachment is, love cannot be. Love dies there. So now what am I doing? I am Nikhil. Okay. And my mother and father are saying, okay, Nikhil, if you really are a good boy, you have to do this and this. Okay. Fine. What am I? I am saying to myself, I want to be a bad boy, but I don't want to follow your obligations. Yes, that kind of a courage, that is the courage that we need. If you really want
Right.
to live this life. So be a bad boy. Yeah, Anusha was sharing, as if I don't matter. Yes, imagine that you don't matter. Be a bad boy. Now,
Okay.
what would this bad boy, who knows that wherever he feels burdened, he recognizes that. Wherever he feels light and joy, he also recognizes that. What kind of a path this boy, who is not labeled at all, would want to take in his life?
Joyous path.
Exactly. Just take that. Don't bother yourself with good boy or a bad boy image. If I tell you about my own self, I am the baddest girl in my family. But I don't care.
Yeah.
I've stopped caring. You were sharing, that I don't bother much about society.
Yeah. I am like
Your
that.
parents a part of the society. They are not separate from the society. Yes.
I don't.
See, I'm not
It's
saying abandon your parents.
yeah.
Don't take me wrong. I'm saying have the courage to say the truth out loud.
Mm,
This is what I'm saying. Do not suffocate yourself. You deserve to live a better life.
got it.
That's it. Do not compromise with your contentment and joy. No matter if they label you as a bad boy, and even if they do emotional attachar, at times that हमने तो तेरे को
Yeah.
गुस्सा और तू ये दिखा रहा है. Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
Okay.
Because
Thank you.
once you go ahead on the path of joy and the right path, that takes you towards right direction, you will see that slowly the father and mother, they will also see that bachcha theek hai. वो अपना जिद छोड़ देंगे, स्टबननेस छोड़ देंगे. आई कैन गारंटी यू दैट. बट आप पाथ सही चुनो अपने लिए. यू टेक द राइट पाथ.
Yes, I will.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Hello everyone.
Yes, Nitish. Yeah.
So this is my second session with you guys, and you were asking why have you joined? Like why has everyone joined? So like in the first session, I was like I really enjoyed the depthness of the advice and the things you and Taruji talked in the first session, and really wanted to be part of the second one as well. So and what I feel is like from few years I like what someone said here, like if they were really introvert before and had really hard time expressing themselves. So I was like that a few years back, and then later on slowly I started to open up, and when I started to open up with people, uh, other people also started to open up with me. And after listening to people more and more, like the true things that they wanted to say, like the when they talk about without any filters, what like Nikhil shared, like without any filter he shared things. In those things I like somewhere I could relate to my relate myself with them and with everyone. And like on some space I could relate with Nikhil or with Anusha or with someone, I think Abhishek shared something. So I feel like listening to people more when they are being themselves gives a chance to know more about yourself. So that was also one of the thing, like I realized this is a good platform, so I just wanted to join in this one, and that's my reason. And about sharing my about my life, it's been like the crisis, I won't categorize it major or minor, I don't know, but it's uh, like I am into existentialism crisis on and off, like I shared in the last one also, and your advices really helped me. uh, like there were things which you already know, but you need to hear, just to remind yourself. So those were the things that made me join this session again. And that's it most.
Thank you, Nitish. Keep sharing, whenever you feel like. Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Nitish. Yes.
Yes, sorry,
Thank
I
you.
have some audio problem today, so.
Yeah. I said thank you for sharing, and please keep sharing whenever you feel. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Hello.
Yes, Sampanna ji, please share. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, actually, my reason to come here today was like my age is 24 right now, and like for the past 2 years, like right after my graduation, I've been facing some serious anxiety, and I don't know if it's depression, but like I get frustrated usually like most of the day, um like I'm not able to concentrate on my work properly nowadays, and like I don't even have a proper goal. I usually get lost to understand what I want to do in life. So I think that happens to me is because like I was a hotel management graduate. I graduated in 2019, and like after that I joined in the hotel industry, but I left within 6 months. So that like affected me in a way, because when I got back home, I used to work in Chennai, and when I got back home, like my mom and dad were like really like they really lost their hope, like because they spent their money for my graduation for 3 years, and like at the end of the day they came back, like lost, like given up hope on that. So they thought that I wasted their money and all, but like I didn't want to continue with it at all. Um, I know, like people usually ask me like, then why did you go for hotel management if you didn't like it? But my response is usually that like I didn't like like as a schoolboy after class 12 I didn't have a proper guidance or like any advice to like what should I study, and also I didn't have any proper um, hobbies or interests, like where should I go for. So like um, right now I shifted the industry, like I work in the ITS support industry actually. So here I usually stay very lost, and I don't understand what to do in life, because uh, like the way I used to be active and always talking to some guests or people in the hotel industry back in those days, it used to keep me motivated throughout the day. Like I love doing that, but the physical stress which like I had to handle, I couldn't like uh, continue with that, so I had given up. So, and now after this coronavirus came up, the hotel industry got so bad, like that I even tried to go back to the hotels, but I'm not getting a job properly. So like I feel very lost nowadays at times. So that's why anxiety started developing. And also like while I like as I'm in home right now, so and I was a very introvert kind of a child in my childhood days. Like I didn't interact properly with people around me. So that's why I usually what happens is like for the past 1 year I'm seeing this, that when I go out to like when I want to speak to someone, or I have to speak to someone, uh, like I get a lot of anxiety and stress in my head to like I don't know whether it may be because I don't have proper concentration skills or something, but like I get anxiety and lot of stress in my head to understand what he or she is saying, and like to sit and understand what I have to know here. So these are some problems I'm facing.
Sampanna ji, first of all, let me thank you for sharing so clearly what you are going through. Uh, did you face any anxiety in sharing right now what you shared?
Yes, I have been like I was facing right now. Yeah.
How does anxiety come to you? So
Like
what are the manifestations? How do you say that okay, yes, anxiety is there? How do you recognize it?
like I have a little like a little bit of pain in my forehead, and it goes like it's like it happens from this in the center, usually in the center of my forehead, and also my like heart starts to pound at a very fast rate. like uh, like this didn't used to happen to me while I was in college or something, but it now it happens. Yeah.
Okay, okay, beautiful. So right now, Sampanna shared whatever he had to share, irrespective of whatever was happening to the head or anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have so-called whatever label you may give it, depression, anxiety. I don't bother about that much because it's just a label, right? Anxiety is just a label, right? So imagine that something is happening in my being, some physical sensations are happening in my being. Irrespective of that, I am doing what feels right. You right now did that,
Yes.
right? I am asking you, how often in your life, day to day life, do you allow yourself to do this right now, what you did, just irrespective of feeling anxious? I do the right thing that I want to do. How many times a day do you do that?
um, like to be honest, like if there are 10 situations I face in a day, I take up 6 to 7. Like I respond 6 to 7 actively, like this how I did today.
Beautiful. I think that's really powerful, very powerful. So, संपन्ना ये जो existential crisis है ना, being lost,
Yes.
ये हम सब feel करते हैं. We all feel lost. There is not a person in this human existence who can say that I never felt lost. Okay? So we are
Yes.
all with you here. But the thing is, irrespective of being a little sensation which is there, which says, I feel lost, am I able to do whatever little baby step is required today in the right direction? That is how I practice this muscle. This is a muscle, taking a step in the right direction. For example, you knew that this can benefit me. So even you had some issues, you did not bother much about those issues. You did not make those issues much larger than sharing your confusion out. So first of all, give a pat on your back to at least able to do that. This is a beautiful thing, and many of us are not able to do that. Many of us, fear becomes so overwhelming, anxiety and fear, that we don't allow ourselves to share. So one thing is this. Secondly, I think the thing that you were sharing, the conflict with the hotel management course that you did, and then you realized you don't really want to be there, right?
Yes.
I also faced something like that because I did my studies until PhD, and after that I realized that I don't want to do this. So one can say, what a waste of seats. So I wasted one master seat, I wasted my bachelor seat, I wasted a PhD seat, so much of money, so called. One can say it's a waste, right? But I don't take it like that. Why? Because I feel that to do the travel until PhD was very, very important for me to realize that I don't want to be there. I think that is a big realization, that whatever society is telling me to do, I actually don't want to be there, because this is not, I feel that something is amiss in my life. I want to do something else. I want to do something else. So I think society may tell me, or parents may tell me, that you wasted the money. But what do you think? Did not the hotel management or the degree or the time that you spent in your study, did it not give you a lot of experience? Did it
Yes, it
not
did.
tell you about life?
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So, hota kya hai ki we miss these opportunities to look that it gave me something. It is not that I am empty handed. It gave me a lot of experience, and it told me that I don't want to be there. I think that itself is a beautiful realization, that I don't want to be there. Now imagine that I am preparing to I am preparing you to be a murderer. Okay, 6 years you spent in being a murderer. In the 7th year you realize that I don't want to be a murderer. I think it's a beautiful decision, because you learned that, oh my god, so much of atrocity, I don't want to do that, or maybe I'm not made for that. So somewhere within yourself, you must maybe you have not taken time out to see that it gave you something. And that's why I listen very easily to what others are saying, others including my parents, because the usual way we live life is, मैंने अपना बच्चा बड़ा किया, I raised up my child as if my child is my property, right? And if I invested this much in my property, this is the return I should get. This is how we raise children.
True.
But this is not how children should be raised. We are human beings, we are not properties. So if I allow myself to be a property, that okay, my parent has invested something in me and he should get the return, ask that parent, am I your property? Because I don't feel like a property. I feel alive. I want to feel alive. And in being a property, I don't feel alive. I feel suffocated. I feel lost. And no one will take this step for you, Sampanna. You have to take this step. And maybe you don't know what to do really with your life right now. Take a sabbatical. Give yourself more time to see what you really want to do. Because you deserve that time in your life. Our life is not about just running from one milestone to another. You know, one degree after another, and then more money, and then children and marriage. And it's not about milestones after another. And if we don't take, you know, we are all young people. If we don't take a step for our own self, who will? Who will? So when,
Like,
you know, sorry, please share, please share.
like yeah, it's like the point you shared right now, that I should give myself time and find what I want to do. Like, I feel like I don't even have the capacity to do that at the moment, because like if I leave my current job and start doing what I want to do, I know that my parents would become more demotivated, and like even I would be lost, because like like as a person right now, I need, like, honestly, I need money to live and like fulfill my desires, and like anything I want. So in that state, like I don't know what to do basically.
Yeah, yeah. You know, now it's a very beautiful sharing, Sampanna, let me tell you. And it's just a reflection that our desires keep us chained.
Yes.
The need, basic need of a human being is very little. We also know that. For that, we don't need that much of money. No, basic needs of life. But for more desires, more ambitions to be fulfilled, what is the bargain that we do? We give away our peace, we give away our contentment, and what do we get in return? This suffocation. So with the light of understanding, I also have to see, where are my desires taking me? They're making me more and more restless and lost. Do I really want to be doing that to me? And we all have desires, but where do they take us? They're making me a slave of money.
Yes.
And in being a slave of money, I am not really happy. You know, imagine that you were a slave of money and you were happy. I would not be saying that. But being a slave of money and putting myself in chains owing to the fact that I want to fulfill my desire, I want to fulfill my desire without even asking what is the desire giving me, I'm chained and I don't like it. So what is important for you? You have to ask this question. Is my freedom and my sanity and my inner joy more important for me, or fulfilling my parents' wishes, expectations, or remaining in chains for the desires is important for me? Because you cannot travel in both the boats. It is not possible. So this decision has to be made. And only you will make this decision. We can only talk about it here. I cannot come to your place and, poke you. Hey, what? I cannot do that. So with your own light of understanding that, yes, Sampanna, you're talking to yourself. You're saying, yes, Sampanna, I see that even if I was to live for one single day, I would not be living like this. And I deserve to live a happy life, a contented life. So what would I be doing in this moment if I deserve to live a better life? What are the steps needed in that direction?
Just to go out, like do some activity.
Whatever. It could be anything. And it could also be leaving all those things which keep you chained. So don't make it like all the things are there which keep you chained, but in addition to that, you are doing one little activity which gives you relief. That would be foolishness. That would be foolishness. So I'm keeping myself chained and I'm giving myself a breather. Thank God it's Friday ka breather hota hai na, you know. 5 days, 4 days we work like a donkey, and then we say thank God it's a Friday. Stupidity.
Yes.
So do you want to live a stupid life or do you want to live a better life? That's your decision. So that I can say every day, wow, what a beautiful day. Not like, you know, I'm waiting for those 4 days to pass so that I can have the breather. Not like that. Each day of life, I deserve freedom and contentment. How would I live a life if I know that there is not much life left with me? How would you live? Live that way. And I'm not saying that if I were to die, you know, tomorrow, I would say, okay, you know, drink lots of vodka and enjoy. This is what, you know, is being discussed. Not like that. Because that would be a really menial life, a trivial life. So can I live each day of my life as if I deserve this contentment and freedom right now that I am having in my life? Even if, yes, tomorrow I would be dying, I would not be saying, oh my God, what a wasteful life. I would not be able to say that. I would say, wow, what a life lived. So don't let anything, and this is for all of us, a reminder for all of us, we don't have to let anything come between me and my inner contentment. This has to be like this. Nothing can come in between. No money, no work, no parents, nothing. So your priority has to be set that I don't want to let anything come between my freedom, my peace. This is freedom and peace. And this is me. This is the Jodi. This is the Gathbandhan that we are looking for. As if you are married to your freedom and peace. Nothing should come in between. And you know, as we were sharing earlier, you know, it requires courage. It requires courage. And we have that courage. It's not that we don't have it. How would I know I have courage? I have to take a step in that direction. This is how I know I have courage. Sitting on the bed and doing all the things which are stupid in nature will not tell me that I have courage. Would that make any sense for you, Sapanna?
No, not at all.
Sorry?
No, not at all. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that, does that make any sense what I was sharing?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Actually, yeah. The points you shared were like really important. I needed someone to like tell me that, because I don't know, nowadays nobody like sheds light upon that, or like tells the reason what a person needs to do if he or she is in such a position.
Exactly. And it's beautiful that we are able to recognize that we are feeling so weak and lost, because something in me must know that I don't deserve this weakness and lostness. You know, something in me knows that I deserve a better life. So take the steps in that direction. Don't give fuel to your chains, because we are the one, you know, we are the one who fuel our chains. Nobody else is forcing me.
Yes.
Right? So if I am sure that I don't want to waste even a single moment of life living chained and feeling suffocated, this is what we call as self-love. This is how much I love myself. That I don't want to waste a moment of my life feeling suffocated and strangulated, because I love myself so much. And take the desired steps in that direction. You know, whatever you feel is better for you in your life, take the step. Take the step. Be a failure, take the step. Make a mistake, take the step. Be a bad boy, still take the step. Before dying, really, we must be able to live. This is not a life. This is suffocation. So before the death arrives to us, we must live. We are in our young ages. We are called youngsters. That is what we are called. But there is hardly any youth left in us. Who has taken away the youth from us? Who has taken away the vigor from us? Give yourself to something so important than your little life, so that you are able to indulge in that with vigor. You know that yes, this is the right thing. I want to do this in my life. I want to give my whole self to this cause or whatever. Pick that thing in your life, because little things will not satisfy you. Little job here and there, it's good that it does not satisfy us, because we are made for higher things. We are not made for just a stupid little job and just the money and eating and drinking and bath. We are not made for that, and that is why we suffocate ourselves there. Yeah, just muted you owing to the background noise. Unmute whenever you want to share. So we are not made for just a little office job and earning the money and living in the riches. We are not made for that. And it's good that depression and anxiety come to us, because they tell us, "Bhaiya, ye kya karne lag gaye? What are you really doing here? You were not made for this little stupid thing. You were made for living life on the edge. What are you doing?" So it's good that depression comes. It's good that anxiety comes, because I'm not really living a proper life that I deserve to live. A higher life, a better life. A life which is not me centric, always focused on me. मैं और मेरी मुसीबतें, मैं और मेरे पेरेंट्स, हम इसी में जूझते रहते हैं. ये हमारी पनिशमेंट होती है एक तरह से. This is our punishment. Almost, if I can say. That because we don't recognize the potential that we have, we are trapped in little nitty gritties of life. This is our punishment. And if I give myself really something higher, where I can completely offer my hours of the day, then these little things would not have that much of authority. They will lose grip over me. So I'm sorry, I just go in this direction, going on and on and on, because I feel really strongly that we must live a life.
That was very actually important.
So thank you, Sampanna. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate and admire those of us who are sharing today, because I know that it's not really comfortable to share these things, and still you are allowing yourself to do that. So more power to each one of us. So we will have 15-20 minutes more, and please, anyone who wants to share, unmute and share.
Monica ji, I just wanted to say one thing. Like when you said you like you changed your field after PhD, like you realized, PhD. Uh, like I am from core engineering background, like civil engineering, and I have also done post grad. And after that, like most of my colleagues, they are not, happy with their lives right now, but they don't like fortunately I have some good background, like family background, so I had that safety net, so I didn't have to worry about uh, being stuck in that phase. But most of my colleagues and people I talk to, they are just stuck in that. They think like we have invested 7 or 8 years of our life, now there's no going back. And it takes like so much of courage to do that, and doing that after PhD is like really something inspiring and I can relate to. And like I see it on daily basis, like what I'm talking, and what you have done, that means a lot of courage. So I mean, this should not be exception. Like This should be said out loud. People should know that it's completely normal what you said, like if you're getting depressed, it's good. Like I also feel if I get confused due to existential crisis, I think it's good for me, because every time it hits me, something good happens. Like the reason I'm here, because I discovered it because of something happening. Like I discovered this group. So similarly, like after getting a call maybe later in life, if we want to change something, and I think it needs courage, because we are told that it's not okay. Like you have invested, like your life should be a pattern. Like you have done BTech, you have done MBA, so you will go for big four company, financial. You'll have to do job there. You have to do this. You have to go in a set pattern, and that had been fed to in our minds. So like I just wanted to tell you that like it's really amazing what you have done, and thank you for sharing that.
Nitish, I think you are the first person who is sharing that it's inspirational. Because I don't think it is. So I did not need courage. Let me share what I went through.
Okay.
It was very clear for me. It was very clear because जो भी मैं बात कर रही थी ना, I was talking to Sampanna and Nikhil that do not let anything come between you and your freedom and peace. So this is PhD. This is PhD. This is me. This is my freedom. Okay. I am letting it come between me and my freedom. I am saying this is bigger. This is what I am saying. Right? This is bigger. Even if it gives me non-peace and it strangulates me, still this is bigger. So I will let it in between and I will suffocate myself. Now, for me, it was very clear. Why? Because owing to grace, owing to whatever, I don't know what really was the thing. I I did not care whether it was master's, PhD, or bachelor's. I did not care for all those years that I spent because they had given me something. They had made me who I was at the end of my PhD. So it's not that I was empty handed. And I realized that its task was over. Maybe this was the tryst with science that was in my life. Now, a time for a new life to begin. So I actually did not need any courage. I could have needed courage. I could have needed courage if I had known that I want some money also from the PhD and research, etc. And yet I want to do something else. समझ रहे हो?
Yes, yes.
So as if I am at two places. Here, money is more, money is attracting me, status and fame is attracting me, and here my life is attracting me. Now I need courage to drop. But for me, courage was not really needed. It was a very clear decision that I don't want this anymore. Because I also did not need the benefits from being a professor or so I gave away my, I would say, so-called riches that society considered riches.
Yes.
And after that, after PhD, I went lost actually in the sense I was touring and I was just figuring out. Sampanna was sharing, I feel lost. I don't know what to do. Nikhil shared. So I gave myself about 1.5 year where I was not really earning anything. And
Okay.
as I was sharing that we all have this much of money that we can allow ourselves to deal with basic needs and allow ourselves to explore what I really want to do. So one has to pay the price.
Okay.
One has to pay the price for freedom, and I would say pay every price for freedom. Every price for freedom. Each
True.
price for freedom is a cheap bargain.
Like but what I see is we are still stuck into that survival mode. Like what I felt, I could relate to Sampanna, I guess, when he said uh, while he changed his job, where he had to face physical exertion, and then in some IT support where there's more mental pressure, like you have to work for more hours. So I have seen all of those things, and like I have changed couple of things in my life, in my career also, and now I've decided to be in a construction business basically. So, and this field is very aggressive. That was the reason I was not joining it from a long time, but I figured it out, like I have to change something. uh, I want to be part of something to change, and for that I have to go through this, although it's completely opposite to my nature. Like my nature was bit, calm and introvert, and this field demands aggression and more outspoken nature. So it's but I made it a purpose, like I have to do something. And although it's like, with whom I have shared, everyone advised, like, you should not go against your nature, you should not do something against your nature. And uh, that's what also confused me. Am I doing the right thing or am I not doing the right thing? But I feel if you have a purpose, and I'm forcefully putting more efforts uh, to put in my nature, always very exhausting. I don't know if it's if I should call it suffocating. It's definitely exhausting. But when I see, like, I just see people, suppose there is a big company and there's CEO, and if you observe their life, and if you're working in that company, that's where you want to reach, right? And if you closely observe their life, after working hard and doing every sort of things in their life, I don't feel it's worth it. Like I see flaws. I still see them more confused, more in existential crisis. Like I see a lot of people who have a lot of money and everything in their life, but in their 50s, 60s, they don't know what to do with their lives. They don't have that fulfillment. And that's how I try to simulate everything, like in my life. If I do this and this will happen, this will happen, and ultimately my simulation ends at being incomplete basically. And that's what, like, there is my favorite movie, there is called Matrix. And in that there's a scene where a person gives the protagonist two choices, to take blue pill and a red pill. And blue pill is like, basically they are living in an illusion. If you take red pill, you will get into the real world, and if you take the blue pill, you will live in the illusion world for the rest of the life. And I feel that's where all of us are divided actually. And the most toughest thing is to have the awareness of the illusion, but also living in it. Like you are living in this world, you are realizing it's bit, there's a lot of illusion, and but you're still continuing because you don't know how to go to the other way, or you don't have the courage to leave all those attachments that you have. So that's just my take and share.
Beautiful, beautiful, Nitish. um, आपने एक बात कही जो आप अपने काम से रिलेटेड बता रहे थे, वर्क रिलेटेड थिंग दैट यू वर शेयरिंग.
Yes.
And I understand that one must not push oneself to really those limits which are against one's nature, one's swabhava. I am with you. But there are many, many things where we can exert ourselves. And we know that if I exert myself at this, although I feel a little bit of discomfort, but somewhere I feel widened, somewhere I feel expanded, as if something grows in me. For example, I'll tell you, uh, the way we started the sessions, ye jo living light sessions, when we started with the sessions, we were not really sure. We had our doubts, we have our confusions, okay? And as if we were pushing ourselves in a direction which were maybe more than our capacity, more than our capability, okay? But somewhere a part in us also knew that this is taking us in a right direction, this is expanding us, this is connecting us with more of us, right? So although this is a bit struggle may be there, a bit discomfort may be there, but this discomfort is an auspicious discomfort. Why? Because I feel widened after a session. I feel expanded after a session. I feel clear headed after a session. So definitely this direction is good, right? I think this is where you would need to maybe discern for your own self, judge for your own self, that wherever you are exerting yourself, expanding yourself, extending yourself, do you feel internally that this is the right direction? Only you could tell. Not anyone here can tell that, because the work is yours, the life is yours. So this is one little signal which can tell you that even going through a discomfort, extending yourself is good. Just like a labor pain happens. Now, the pregnant lady is not really in comfort and very easy giving birth to the baby. She is undergoing a discomfort, but it's an auspicious discomfort because it is giving birth to a baby. It's giving you birth. It's making you anew, afresh. तो कोई भी काम जब हम अपना करते हैं जीवन में, एनीथिंग दैट आई इंडल्ज इन डे टू डे लाइफ, इज इट मेकिंग मी लिटिल or is it making me expanded even after the discomfort? What is it doing to me? That way I will know by my own understanding, the light of understanding that I have. Nobody else is asking me to judge this. I am doing it for myself, that I can see this is making me little, that expands me. So I want to go there, because even if there is discomfort, it is expanding in nature. This is how you pick and choose, day-to-day movements. Would that make any sense, Nitish?
Yes, it did. Like there was a point when I have a choice to have a life which will be comfortable. I'll be earning, average income, and I could pay my bills. I could live independently, and like I won't have much responsibilities and all, and it will be a chill life. Okay, so and there was a choice, to come back and live with family and join a business and all. So there was earlier my attitude was like nothing matters, like whatever I'll build, you're going to die and things will move on, and it won't matter really however big you become in life. But then I saw the effects of people, like suppose basically I started reading Osho and Jiddu Krishnamurti. So then I met a lot of people, like second generation of people whose life got affected by their work. So I realized they are not with us anymore, but their effects we can still see, and it's growing on a lot of people still. And so that's why I realized like I should try to move into sustainability. I should promote sustainable construction because no one is doing that, and maybe if I'll succeed, it might change something in future, even if I won't be there. So that's what I'm trying to build something. So it may be a discomfort, what you said, a good discomfort right now, but sometimes it gives you confusion, sometimes it feels like suffocation, sometimes but it's like I have to be stick to the vision. That's it. That's what I'm trying to do.
कहीं ना कहीं कुछ sir, something is not clear, and just invoking you to reflect when you are in your silences.
Yes.
If a thing is in right direction, this suffocation thing that you shared, I think the episodes of it would reduce and reduce and reduce and reduce. Discomfort may be there, because whenever I'm trying something new, discomfort is there. But think more about this suffocation part, because I'm not really clear about that why now I am distinguishing between discomfort and suffocation. Suffocation is as if I have to really kind of strangulate myself. I don't want to be here, but something is chaining me. I'm not feeling really free. Now, when I go through a discomfort, there also a uneasy sensation may be there, but something in me knows that I must go through this. I must go through this. So check yourself there whenever you are with your silences that kuch hai dal mein kala, I don't know. Really. Yeah.
Or maybe I'm using wrong words, but I will try to reflect it. Thank,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much for sharing. Yeah. Thank you. Anusha, you wanted to share?
Yes, yes. So, this session is really wonderful today because I could relate with everyone today, with say with Nikhil or Sampanna, and I would want to tell them that you know what, they all said they are at the age of 24 and still lost and all. I was really successful at the age of 21. Successful because I cleared some competitive exams that only 5%, 10% people in India could clear, and still at the age of 28 right now, I'm a mess. Other people feel that I have their dream jobs, and how on earth could I be unhappy with this? But still I am, because even I have taken the level of comparing myself a lot. So it's like wherever you are, there are going to be better people, but I still can't, despite knowing all of it and being aware of all the things, I cannot tell myself to really, I mean, I can't stop comparing myself and things, and I don't know how to get myself out of this feeling of unhappiness. And I have reached to such a mess that even if you ask me that what would make you happy, because the thing with me is my story is kind of opposite. You always hear people telling you that they did not get the opportunities, but they made ways for them and things like that. For me, the journey wasn't really that tough. In spite of being a girl, my mom was very supportive and I could do anything that I wanted, but I was studious, so and also involved in extracurriculars. So of course, I did not research much and did not have the knowledge that what exactly could work for me at that age. And I had to decide at the age of 21 what I want to do, and I picked the job that seemed to be best at that moment. But now I realize that okay, no, this is not what I want to do. Maybe for the rest of my life. But as I think Nitesh said very well, that I still can't go back, and now it's really high time for me to maybe decide. And still now, by this age, that I've self-analyzed so much that I'm scared to take any decision. It's not just coming out of me. I'm feeling so damn stuck that I can't express. So
Thank you so much, Anusha. Thank you so much for sharing. I think this just tells us, and again, this is not just your experience. I think people who are at very high posts in this world and who we aspire and inspire, get inspired by, they can tell exactly the same thing that you shared, that nothing on this earth can give you happiness. Nothing. It is beautiful that in our young ages we are able to recognize that. Okay, now I see that nothing in this life can really make me happy. Even if it makes me happy, it makes me happy only for a short period of time, right? So what is the deal? It means that I cannot depend on my happiness for my happiness on external people, situations, jobs, money, etc., etc., etc. What to do? What to do? I see,
exactly.
yeah, just kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
reflecting upon that. What to do? Now, what happens? I'll give you a very short example. I don't know if it makes sense, and feel free to question if it doesn't. Imagine that I am craving. Now, I'll take a very little example just for the sake of it. I am craving for a ice cream. Craving, and I'm very unhappy, and I'm craving for it. I go to the ice cream shop and I get an ice cream. Now the ice cream is in my hand. Okay, I take the first bite and something in me melts. In that moment, when my desire is fulfilled, in that moment when the desire is given, is fulfilling the desire, I feel a sense of happiness or contentment. Owing to the fact that I don't really see it clearly, मैं क्या कहती हूँ? मैं ये कहती हूँ, this ice cream gave me happiness. That is what I say. That I was unhappy, I was craving, I was restless. The moment I had the ice cream, I was happy, I was contented. So what is the deal? I say to myself, this ice cream made me happy. That's not the truth. What is the truth? In the moment of being my desire fulfilled, there was no desire in my mind. In the absence of the desire, my inner being, which is full of happiness, shine forth. So it was not the ice cream that gave me happiness, because there are many, many other times where ice cream was there, but I was still unhappy because I was desiring something else. In the presence of any desire in my mind, I cannot be happy. A desire is like a black cloud on the blue sky of my being. So we have to realize it for all of us that no person, no external situation, no money, no job, even if it is of your liking, can give you happiness. Why cannot it give you happiness? Because happiness is the blue sky of your true nature. You are happiness. And in the presence of desire, like a black cloud on that dark sky, blue sky, I cannot have that happiness, because the whole focus is on the dark cloud. Because something in me tells me, when the dark cloud vanishes, then you would have happiness. Because I don't realize that blue sky is me, not the dark cloud. And later on I realize, let the dark cloud be, I am who I am. So we all need to realize this urgently. Why urgently? Because we don't have much time. We may think that we have many years to live. You are in your 20s, early 20s, late 20s. How are you sure? How are you sure? Death can come any moment. So how do you want to live a life? Do you want to live a life of a beggar, wanting happiness from everybody around you? Or do you want to know yourself as that happiness in absence of anything? I am content and happy. I am enough. Now, what would I want to live, or what would I want to do with this life if I am enough? That is the right place to start anything. Any job, any money, any relationship, that is the right space. That knowing that nothing can complete me because I am complete. How would I live a life? What would I really want to do with this life? This is the right space to start.
So true, but I just have one doubt that I'm not sure if anyone would have experienced or why am I going through this, but of course it's about the laziness, of course, but then at a point you so get used to this sadness and things, that I don't know where to get the energy from to change things. It's so difficult to restart when I consider myself a social failure, a career failure, and what not that I have given labels myself to. So,
Anusha, very important point again. We need to give ourselves to something higher than us. Imagine, I often use this example. I will take an example. You say that sadness and all that, boggles you up, right? Takes so much of energy. Imagine that you are standing at a train station and you are eating chai and pakoda. Now, when the train is not moving, you are having chai and pakoda in one hand. You are complaining about the mirchi in pakoda. You are complaining about the sweetness in the chai and all that. It keeps you busy. You're draining a lot of energy in that. The moment the train begins to move, and if I have to catch that train, what will I do? I will not bother about the mirchi in the pakoda and the chai the sweetness in the chai. I will run to catch the train. So the thing is that we are so vela, we are so, we don't know what to do with our time. So that I always keep myself occupied with how much mirchi in the pakoda and how much sweetness in the chai. Because I don't have any train to catch. And this is my punishment. I would say this is my punishment. Why my punishment? Because the universe knows that we can do better. And still we are engaged in, chai and samosa. Catch the train. Because there is no end to talking about chai and samosa. Even if the fellow makes it the best, you will find some or the other incompletion in chai or pakoda. Why? Because you have so much of time. Why on earth do we have so much of time? I'm not saying that you distract yourself with things, not like that. Give yourself to something higher and more valuable, where little things of life become unimportant. हाँ, डिजीज है मेरे को, कोई बात नहीं है तो है, टाइम कहाँ है किसी के पास? हाँ, बहुत सारी और भी प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकती हैं अगर बताने बैठूं तो, लेकिन टाइम किसके पास है इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में बात करने में? सो वन हैज टू रियलाइज दैट समथिंग और द अदर will keep on complaining in my being. That is what we name as ego. Something or the other will always be incomplete in my life. But for how long will I keep on focusing on that incompletion? When will I give myself to something more important than me? That is the train. So where is the train in your life? How long will you keep on talking about the chai and pakoda? No. And we have so much of energy. Being youngsters, we have so much of time. Why don't we give ourselves to right places? Something beautiful in life. Give yourself to something beautiful. And then these little matters will actually become very little. Right now, they're occupying so much in my life. Don't wait for the problems to end first and then to find something higher in life. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Don't keep on waiting कि पहले मैं निपट लूं सैडनेस से, सॉरोनेस से, फिर मैं कुछ करूंगी अपनी लाइफ के साथ. This is how I fool myself.
True, I think you're right. But
Yeah.
it also takes time to realize which train to go now. Because as I said, I'm scared to make it.
Yeah. Make
And-
mistakes. Anusha, make mistakes. Even if you catch a wrong train, at least you were not complaining about chai and samosa. You can be happy about that. Catch the wrong train, but at least catch it. Don't be afraid of making failures. We what is the purpose of being alive if we are afraid of making failures? Are we a stone? We are not a stone. We can go through all the failures in life. So allow yourself to make really heavy mistakes. Do them. Make them. Only then you can call yourself alive. Let nothing be bigger than you. No failure can be bigger than you. No mistake on earth can be bigger than you. That should be our spirit. Otherwise, there is no point living this life. And good that depression comes, good that anxiety comes, good that sadness comes. Because otherwise, we will keep on living this monotone. And we don't deserve this monotone. We deserve a brighter life. So make all the funny kind of failures you can imagine on earth so that you can be really proud of yourself, what all you did. Yeah?
Absolutely. Understood.
Yeah. Yes, Taru.
Yeah, this was so beautiful. I really enjoyed the discussion today, and I'm not saying this just because I'm supposed to say it. just what you were talking, while you guys were talking, I just took a little bit of notes. So about Anusha, she said something very interesting, and I heard it before also, that I don't want to go back, right? But with so much the conversations that we were having, you never go back. Like with all the experiences that you have done, it's not a waste. Like even like you said, you were ready to give up your PhD. So, and you never felt you're going back, because where it got you was like, somewhere where you needed to be so that you could be where you are today. The going back, I think एक society, it हमें डराती रहती है, इतना कर लिया, जैसे, the how somebody gives this example कि गलत ट्रेन में बैठ गए हैं और चले जा रहे हैं, चले जाते चले जा रहे हैं, कि भैया उतरेंगे तो ये मानना पड़ेगा ना कि ट्रेन गलत थी, बट ऑब्वियसली उतरोगे तभी तो ठीक डायरेक्शन की ट्रेन में बैठोगे. तो दैट्स समथिंग रियली इंटरेस्टिंग, बट आई डोंट थिंक यू नेवर गो बैक. एंड अगेन एक जो थीम आ रहा था आज, लाइक लाइफ इज सपोज टू बी फन, इट्स सपोज टू बी एन एडवेंचर. I think somebody who shared in the beginning, I'm sorry, maybe it was Abhishek who said कि बचपन में, आई थिंक मे बी निखिल, कि बचपन में अच्छा लगता था, अब नहीं लगता है ना. समाउ एक जो मस्ती, एक एडवेंचर, एक केयर फ्रीनेस की जिंदगी के स्टेक्स इतने हाई नहीं है. और अभी भी अगर 10 लाख लोग मुझे बोल रहे हैं कि स्टेक्स हाई है, आई कैन से नहीं, मेरे लिए नहीं है ना. मतलब मरना तो सबने है ही, तो वही एक फैक्ट्री का कार्डबोर्ड का डब्बा बन के जो सारे बने हुए हैं वही बन के मरना है, कि कुछ डिफरेंट बन के मरना है. तो एक थोड़ा सा just connecting with why am I alive, what do I want. And I don't know, it might sound odd, but one thing I keep reminding myself is that when I'll meet God, or whenever, like when I leave the body and somebody would ask me कि हाँ कैसे जिया, I could either say कि हाँ बस जो मुझे बताया गया, I just followed and I followed very well, है ना. or I can say कि अच्छा जिया, I did whatever I wanted to do, I made mistakes, I broke this, I did this, and it was fun. Like either I can either comply or I can have fun. Somehow I can't have both, and it's a fact. So we have to choose that for ourselves. Or Nitesh ke liye, I want to say that I was amazed at his observation and awareness. मतलब जो चीजें इसने बोली, a lot of things, like it's amazing, and he should know that he has really good observation powers. And I think he said कि हर story में मैं दिखता हूँ. That's the reason I came back. Even Anusha said, Rumi, he says every story is us. कि हमें लगता है कि भैया मैं special और मेरी story तो मुझसे भी special. But ये कितनी grounded और humble बात है कि हाँ true, the degrees may vary, but सारों की life में same ही drama चल रहा है. तो मैं उसको कैसे, I can either take it as a leela, as a fun, as a play, or I can take it as, oh my God, I'm dying, okay, the suffocation is killing me and stuff. So that was again really beautiful. और आई थिंक एक पूरा रिकॉर्ड जो थीम आया वो आया कि जैसे पेरेंट्स जेलर्स हैं, है ना, कि हमको प्यार भी है उनसे. एक वो फिनोमिना होता है ना, यू लव योर, आई डोंट नो, किडनैपर्स एंड स्टफ, व्हाट हैमबर्गर सिंड्रोम और समथिंग, कुछ मुझे वैसा सा फील आया कि प्यार भी करता हूँ और वो भी करते हैं, और वो मेरे को स्ट्रेस या प्रेशर बिल्कुल नहीं डालते, बट फिर भी मैं बहुत प्रेशर्ड और स्ट्रेस्ड हूँ. लाइक समहाउ ये भी एक मुझे लगता है काफी ट्रिकी बात होती है कि हाउ वी आर सपोज टू मेक टू फील दैट यू डू इट बिकॉज मेकिंग मी हैप्पी विल मेक यू हैप्पी, है ना. मतलब ये पूरा एक चेन सा है ना कि आई वांट टू मेक देम प्राउड. आई थिंक समबडी सेड, मे बी इट वाज निखिल, कि और प्राउड कितनी देर कोई रहता है ना. 10th में अच्छे मार्क्स आ गए, प्राउड हो गए. 11th में गंदे आ गए, ओ तू तो बड़ा बेकार है, कुछ नहीं करता. फिर 12th में अच्छे आ गए. मतलब आप ये भी तो देखो कि क्या चीजें उनको प्राउड बना रही हैं, और अगर वो चीजें उनको प्राउड बना रही हैं, क्या मेरी जिम्मेदारी है, मतलब क्या मैं वही आई डोंट नो एक गधा बन के रहते रहना चाहता हूँ कि हाँ देखो फिर मैंने बहुत माल धोया और मेरा मालिक मुझसे खुश हो गया. आई एम सॉरी, आई एम यूजिंग अ बिट ऑफ क्रूड लैंग्वेज, बट I have to see that if these are the things that are making them happy, do I want to be doing those things? और इसमें मुझे कोई पेरेंट्स के अगेंस्ट नहीं हम बोल रहे हैं, बिकॉज हम सबकी अपनी लिमिटेशंस हैं, अपनी गोल्स हैं लाइफ में, अपना हमें दिख रहा है. मतलब उन्होंने जो किया ये नहीं है कि अब हम इस सेशन के बाद काइंड ऑफ एक ये कॉम्प्लेक्स बना दें कि मेरे साथ बहुत बुरा हो गया, मेरे पेरेंट्स ने मेरे साथ ऐसे करा. They did the best they could, but you have been given wisdom and intelligence to see that I have to be the best I can for myself. और हाँ, और एक और ये अगेन आई थिंक आई जस्ट वांट टू से अ लिटिल बिट मोर ऑन दिस कि समहाउ ये जो माइनर मेजर की भी बात हो रही थी कि हमको जिस तरह से सप्रेस किया जाता है या प्रेशर किया जाता है वो इतने ब्यूटीफुल तरीके से होता है कि हमें पता नहीं चलता एंड समहाउ वी फील इट्स ओके एंड इट्स नेवर ओके। मतलब वी से हमें बोला जाता है कि तुम्हारी प्रॉब्लम्स बड़ी नहीं है और मेरी प्रॉब्लम मुझे बड़ी लगती हैं तो वो मेरे लिए बड़ी हैं एंड इफ आई कीप टेलिंग माई सेल्फ दे आर नॉट बिग I will be really in a lot of misery. The day I admit कि yes they are big but I am bigger than them, like सबको अपनी जगह दिखाना और मानना कि हाँ इसकी जगह है। तो I think we should never say कि I was never pressurized but I feel pressurized because वो impossible है कि कोई pressure ना कर रहा हो और तुम pressure हो रहे हो। Subtle hints they drop, subtle statements they make एंड यू मेड टू फील कि नहीं नहीं और somehow ऐसा लगता है तो सभी तो मांग रहे हैं सेम चीज एज अ पेरेंट उनकी राइट है मेरे से मांगना कि मैं अब फैक्ट्री का डब्बा बनूं बट जस्ट क्वेश्चनिंग कि क्या मैं वो बनना चाहता हूँ, क्या मुझे अच्छा लगता है फैक्ट्री का डब्बा बनने में इज आई थिंक अ गुड प्लेस टू बी। एंड आई एम दैट Anusha ka mujhe that statement she made that she said a lot of things and she said I am that person who feels who judges like how beautifully she could see कि हाँ मैं बोल रही हूँ कि मुझे उससे प्रॉब्लम है और मैं भी वही बन जाती हूँ। It was really good. And one thing Prasanna said and I'm just ending here, he said I think he's still here कि what made me wonder when he was sharing was that हमें judgments इतनी क्यों matter करती हैं? Like you were talking about validation, right? Like how we keep asking for love, validation and stuff. But somehow like he used the word judgment कि मैं ये करूँगा तो मैं judged हो जाऊँगा. And something even happened with me today and suddenly I was feeling कि that person will say this or do this and that again just not answering, just thinking and maybe we can discuss it in some other session कि जज होना, कोई कहीं बैठ के मुझे जज कर रहा है या मुझे चार बातें भी सुना रहा है, why does that affect me so much that I am willing to change my life, what I believe, where I stand for someone else's judgment of me? Yeah, I think I would just personally want to end there.
Last thing that you shared, वहां पे ना मुझे ये भी पता होना चाहिए where is the judgment coming from? उस बंदे की लाइफ कैसी है जहां से जजमेंट आ रही है ना? If a person is, if I look up to that person, he has something worthy of respect, then a judgment coming from that person would be actually valuable, right? That person has said something, let me think about it. But usually judgment is coming from those places, people who don't even know how to live their own life, right? So what do I do with that judgment? Why do I give it that much of importance? Yeah.
एंड आई थिंक इवन हमारे बॉलीवुड में भी तो कितना वो है काइंड के सभी बदनाम होते हैं कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे टाइप लाइक सम सॉन्ग्स आर रियली ब्यूटीफुल एंड इवन अ बुद्धा was judged, right? A Meera was judged. Like anybody who has tried to walk different is judged, and yet they are the ones. Yeah, sorry.
Jesus was put on a cross.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And after like 10,000 years, we remember them and we don't remember the people who were sitting there and judging them. So I think that is something that says about how much that should matter and what path we should take. Yeah. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a good night. And Monica, you can.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks everyone. Thank you so much for sharing, and really one must pat oneself on the back, to take one little step, one baby step in the right direction. And we deserve this, contemplation and reflection on our own life, because we really want to do something worthwhile with our life and not just waste it like that. So thank you for joining. And those of us who are here for the first time, if you would like to join us again, just keep in touch, drop me a message or whatever you have. I think you all have our numbers. So yeah, I will keep you updated about the upcoming sessions. Yeah. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining.